indicator. The share of wallet is also called a customer share. So what is the share of wallet? It's something like an individual market share. Market share is the proportion of sales of a brand in value or volume divided by the overall sales in value or value of all brands. For example, if Coke has 50 million euros of sales, Pepsi also 50%, then the market share would be respectively 50%. This is what we measure on an aggregate base for brands. It's the same reasoning for a customer. As we have the individual customer purchase data, we can measure how much money the customer spends for the focal brand compared to other brands. If you buy in this month for 50 euros Coke and for 30 euros Pepsi and for 20 euros 7-Up, then your overall spendings are 100 euros. And the customer share or share of wallet would be respectively 50% for Coke, 30% for Pepsi, and 20% for 7-Up. So you take the spending by brand, by customer, divided by the overall spending of all brands confirmed. The higher the share of wallet, the higher the customer value. A customer having 100% share of wallet is a 100% so loyal customer. The proportion of customers being loyal 100% is very low. That is why we won't never have 100% customer share or rarely. Or firms having low customer share have to increase customer share. Or the target is to make switch customer shares from competitor brands to the focal brand. I know, for example, that the customer is spending 30% for Pepsi, 50% Coke. Then my marketing target would be to convince you to spend the 30 euros for Pepsi to Coke. And this is actually what is happening in retail. If I know that my customers buy in a competitor store, 30% of the expenditures are spent in a competitor store, then I would raise up a loyalty program in order to give advantages to convince the customer to spend more money in my focal store. Or I will analyze the basket. I would see that you, for example, buy only beverages in my supermarkets, but no noodles or no food. I would try to do cross-sell. Give you, for example, personalized voucher. Buy noodles and pasta sauce and all these things in my supermarket. You can get a first discount of 50%. You have to understand which are the rewards your target group is interested in. The target would be to make cross-selling, to make you come into my market in order to make you switch the expenditures from the competitor store to my store. The share of wallet is expenditures for focal store or focal brand divided by the sum of the expenditures in all brands or all stores. Where this information might come from. Either you do a market research, either you buy panel data, either you can extrapolate. The easy one is to make surveys. You can ask your customers, can ask him or her, how much money do you spend in the competitor store? It's easy to do because you have the email address. The problem is you probably have not very much return rates. Secondly, it's declarative data. If I ask you how much money do you spend in different stores, you probably can only approximate it and perhaps you don't know it. Or the other way is the panel databases which you can buy, in which you can try to match. So for example, if I know your first name, your family name of all of you, your email, I will try to match, find you in these databases where customer purchases are measured, panel data. And then I would see how much you spend in other stores or for other brands. But this is costly. So that is why this indicator is very interesting, but not so easy to get. And you can also try to establish some statistical models. So probably if you live between two supermarkets, probability that you buy in another supermarket, the other half of your share of wallet is relatively high. And then I would also extrapolate.